Okay, how about one more video on this, the day after the zero buzz cut. I think this is my last one I'm gonna do. There's just so many ideas going through my head. So here's what I wanna address, okay? So you see me, a guy who's 36, and you see me bare, naked as far as the hair goes, okay? I want us to address that and talk about that, okay? See, most men who still have most of their hair, which I am included in that category, most of us, especially guys like me in our mid to late 30s, we don't go around with a zero guard buzz cut, do we? Most of us have, like I did, about 1.5 inches or more, and it just kind of minimizes what's going on up here, and you don't think about it. So what I'm saying is, imagine a world where all men had a zero guard buzz cut. We could see exactly what their hair looked like. We could see their hair, their scalp naked. We could see that part of them naked. And perhaps we might judge them differently because of that. Okay? And I've made this comparison before. I want to make it again to this. I say having a zero guard buzz cut is another equivalent of a girl who wears no makeup. A girl without makeup is the equivalent of a guy who goes with a zero guard buzz cut. And I've said before, and I've made, maybe you think I've made too big of a deal about it when I keep saying, it's so brave what I did. Especially men with hair are not brave enough to do this. They don't want to expose this, right? It takes courage to do this, which is one of the reasons I did it. I wanted to prove to myself that I still had it. And when I say still have it, I don't mean still have this. I mean still have the ability to just say, hair, who needs it? And not regret it, okay? I really, truly, it's like, okay, like Alicia Keys, right? On the Turn Around the Cherry show. What is it? Sing, voice, whatever it is, okay? Okay, so right, very attractive female. And she's doing this thing where she's not wearing makeup. Still a very attractive female. Now, I would obviously understand that you could say, well, Nick, some females can get away with without wearing makeup and others can't. Agreed. Similar is the fact that certain guys can do a zero buzz cut and look better than others with it. And a lot of you have said, well, Nick, it helps that you can pull it off. And granted, you look better with a 1 or a 2, but a 0, you can at least still get away with it and rock it either way. And I think that it really goes back to the concept. Think about every pretty girl you know in your life right now. Have you seen them without makeup? It's a little bit of a different story. And for some, it's a different... See, it's funny. I'll tell you something. For me, I was never attracted to females that wore a lot of makeup. High maintenance girls, the ones that like bleach their hair and have it all done up and all the makeup and all that stuff. Never attracted to girls like that. And even when you see my wife, she's very low maintenance. She doesn't wear much makeup, if she even does wear it. And I don't even know the difference anyway, because she already is so low maintenance. So for me, I've always been, that's how I'm tuned in. My radio station is, what's the most natural thing going on? I want a girl who's natural. I want to be natural. I don't want all this overhead and high maintenance stuff. Okay? So I feel it's a perfect analogy to say that a man who buzzes off his hair with a zero guard is exposing himself in the same way that a female who chooses to wear zero makeup. I think it's the same exact perfect comparison of what that means. Because it's brave and it's a bold choice for females to not wear makeup. Again, if you Google it, Alicia Keys, no makeup, there's going to be all kinds of stuff that pops up on YouTube and articles. It's a big deal that someone so high profile has made that decision, showing up week after week on this very, very popular show without any makeup. And that's something she's just doing for now. I've watched actually one of the videos and I've read some of the articles. And she basically said for right now, that's just what she's doing. It's not that she will never wear makeup again, but right now That's where she's at. And that's where I'm at right now. I feel that it's a way to understand and know myself better is to do this. I really think it's such a liberating experience to do this. To see yourself without any bit of a crutch. Now granted, you could say, well, Nick, you could shave it with a razor, but I'm pretty sure this does the job, because this still reveals that actually, if I shaved it all down to the skin, then you might not see this. But see this, I'm not trying to hide anything. If I went to the shaving with a razor, then we can't see what I'm actually dealing with. You can see what I'm dealing with here, but just enough. You can see the outline. So there you go. What do you think about that? I am convinced that I'm right. Or maybe I'm wrong. I just really feel that in our society, most men are not judged by their true hairlines. And I don't mean that for men who are actually straight up balding. I mean it for men like me. Think of how many men in their late 20s and 30s and 40s that still have hair and you don't think of as balding or necessarily like receding hairline or anything like that. But they have a hairline that goes up that you don't notice. And again, Paul Rudd would be an example of that. Paul Rudd is he's at least a Norwood too, maybe without the thinning. But it's like with Paul Rudd, you don't see him like this. He always has that just enough hair to keep it vague enough. And I've seen him even when he was on Friends, one time he pulled it up and it goes up a little bit. So many men that have a full head of hair are in that same situation. It's just that they don't do this so that you don't see exactly what they're working with. And that's the case with most women. Most women at least wear some makeup. Many women wear a lot of makeup. Very few women wear no makeup. Those women are the equivalent of what I'm doing with the zero guard right here. Now we could say that when I let it grow out another week or two, and this is now a 1.5 or a 2, then maybe I'd be the equivalent of a girl who's wearing just a little bit of makeup. But I really feel that this is something that we tend to forget. So many men with full heads of hair have imperfect hairlines. Like this. They're not straight across. It's just you don't think about it because it's not exposed in this naked form that we see right here. It's funny because as I'm looking at this, I'm like, it's like symmetry, you know? And I've said that a long time ago in one of my videos when I first started doing this channel, but that's why I like to keep the symmetry going with, because my hairline so closely, I feel, matches what's going on here. So that's why I like to keep all that. All right, yeah, what do you, okay, that's its own little bonus video, but what do you think about that? Zero guard buzz cut equivalent of a woman wearing no makeup. What do you have to say?